Yo, 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 what up, everybody? It's your boy, Jewelz, and we are back with the This Ain't No Flophouse episode 3. And today we have my boy, Skippstick. Skippstick is my longest standing member. And so, for those who don't know, what we're doing is I'm not just going to be bringing in people that are content creators, I'm going to be bringing in people that are members as well. And if you're a member of the channel, uh I will get you in no matter what. Like, as long as this series goes, if you're a member, I will get you in. Skip has been a member for 48 months. So for 4 years, he has been a member on the channel, and it's greatly appreciated, Skip. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Don't tell my wife that.
So how first things first, how did you find my channel?
I think I was scrolling. I'm guessing it must have been YouTube at the time, or people that played PUBG
Yeah.
on console. I'd just kind of gotten into the battle royale scene and was planning on playing it on Xbox. And I wanted to find other people that played it on Xbox. It seemed like most of the streamers playing it were on PC. It wasn't on PlayStation yet, and so I don't even know what I searched or what have you, but ended up at your stream and enjoyed it, so I stuck
I
around.
appreciate it. So for those who don't know, Skip came into my stream and he started supporting, and then we found out that we lived 15 minutes away from each other. So it's a small world, and it's always great to have that support in your own, state. So I appreciate that a lot. Um, so you're me and you are around the same age. So let's talk about the best game you've played on every console that you've owned, or your friends have owned, or whatever, that you played with them.
Okay, okay. So I think first console I ever owned was the regular Nintendo, based Nintendo. And I want to say probably my favorite game was Mario, or I think there was Mario Kart on that one too, but I just remember playing a whole lot of Mario on that. I want to say, did that come out in like '85 or something like that? So it was like I definitely didn't get it when it was new. It'd been around for a while, and my mom or my parents only got me a select amount of games, so Mario was one of them, and just always I'd play that all the time. Basically, it was kind of like my first big hobby, I want to say. I do remember playing some sort of a video game on one of my dad's computers when I was really young. He was like, I don't know if he was going to school at the time at the University of Minnesota or if he'd actually worked there at the time still or already, but he would had a computer that he would bring home and to do work on, and he had some like weird game where I don't even really remember, but I think you were like looking for a vampire or something like that. And basically, it's like you went into a room and you could pick which way you wanted to go, straight, left, or right, and different things would happen, and you're looking for a vampire the whole time. I don't really remember, but that was the first video game I ever really remember playing. Was that one? Then I stuck to the Nintendo side of things for a while. I got a Super Nintendo at some point. Um, my favorite game on that was probably uh, Mario Kart.
I love Mario
I don't
Kart.
know. I like the regular old Mario
Yeah.
type of games, I guess. Some of the original Mario's too, 1 and 2 on that one. Um, and then I got an N64 shortly after they came out. I don't know if it was like the same year, but just for Christmas
Right.
later that year or what. But I got lucky and managed to get an N64 when it came out. And I remember just at first that Mario 64 was just the bomb.
Yeah,
But
so I was trying to tell that to MK because we got the Switch, and she has been playing like those Mario games and stuff, and I was like, because Mario Odyssey for the Switch is probably the closest thing to the Mario back on the N64, and I was like, babe, we got to get N64, and you have to play the Mario from the N64. It was so good. It was so good.
I thought I was such hot shit back then. Like, I had an N64, none of my friends did. I brought it to school for like show and tell one day. Like my show and tell was showing people how to do a triple flip in Mario or something like that.
So you actually hooked
just
it all
as an
up
excuse to
on,
bring
like,
it to school.
on the TV.
Yeah, they had wheeled in a TV with a head. I had to figure out how to get the connection to work because it was some old TV or something, and it was
Had the
it was
red,
interesting.
white, and yellow cords to plug in.
Yep. But I mean, the best game for N64 for sure was
I
GoldenEye,
agree.
by far my favorite. That was the game that I guess probably got me into shooters. I remember we'd have tournaments at my house. I grew up in a really, really small town, so basically all the kids my age come over to my house and we would have a tournament. We'd keep track of it on a notebook. My cousin would write everybody's name and like the kills that they got in each round, and like we'd have just this big tournament of all the kids my age, and I always cleaned house on it.
That's funny because I don't think we did so much of like a tournament or anything, but like my friend Chris, he's the one that had the N64, and we would just go to his house like every day in the summertime, or if it was like during the like during the school year, we would go there after school, like after we got our homework done, we just go over there, and we'd be playing that like nonstop. And I'm sure like people don't realize like there's younger kids and they only know online gaming, right? But we had to play on the same TV and have four boxes and be like, no, do not look at my screen. Do not look at my screen. Why are you screen sniping? And your friends be like, I didn't even know you were there. But obviously they can see exactly where you're at. And yeah, it was just that game is I hope they remake it. And I hope it is. They're supposed to remake it, from what I'm hearing, and I'm not sure if they're making it into a BR as well. But they're supposed to be remaking it. It's supposed to be coming out in like 2023, but I haven't heard too much about it. I just know that they're working on it. And
is that for PC or for a console?
Like
or?
Everything, like it's gonna be cross-platform.
Because I think one thing about that game that a lot of people maybe don't remember about it is that the controllers, buttons and everything was a lot different than what people are used to now. Like, I just remember something about, those little yellow arrow buttons, the C buttons, I think they were, on the N64 controllers. You could, like, strafe with those. Right. And, it was, because it wasn't two thumbsticks for controlling movement. So, like, I remember, using those to go around corners, to, like, strafe around corners, and like just had, I don't know, it was just a lot different movement for that game. I think going back and playing it would be a really weird experience at first until you got used to it. But like, how did I used to play this way? Especially now used to the dual joystick movement and everything.
If you know this, but they came out with like another one for the PS3. And yeah. And,
oh, really?
It was just poorly executed. It was bad. I had it, and I had like, it came with like I got like this like gun, like, the plastic like PlayStation gun that like goes with it. And it was just it was pretty bad. So
like you use that as a controller, almost like a duck hunting type thing.
But it was just kind of poorly done. So I didn't play it very much, and yeah. Hopefully they don't make that same mistake with the new one. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, I think just a lot of people would buy it because of the nostalgia of it, and then hopefully they do it right. People might actually stick around and play it for a while. Yeah. It could be fun.
So what other ones? What happened? Like which console after that?
So after the N64, I had that. I mean, for a long time, and I don't think I actually owned a PlayStation 1 or a PlayStation 2 myself. My stepbrother had the PlayStation consoles, and I had the Nintendo consoles. So I played them. I do remember like the Final Fantasy 7 and 8 games getting me pretty addicted for a while on was that PlayStation 1, I believe. As far as PS2, I was that game Driver on PS2 or was that PS1 as
Ooh,
well?
I'm not even sure.
Where you're like uh, driving bad guys around or something like that. You're like a getaway driver for people or something like that, and like the cops would start chasing you. And I know they had some side game or something you could play. It was just like how long you could run from the cops, and basically they wouldn't ever lose you. It was just how long you could survive without
Okay.
destroying your car and everything. And I remember this one time I like glitched through the wall somehow, and I just sat there and drove circles inside the building because the cops couldn't get me, and just like let my score just rack way up before I finally destroyed myself, and then showed my brother my top score and be like, "Yeah, beat that." But after that, I kind of fell out of video games for a while, I guess. You know, kind of getting into those late teenage years. Well, no, I guess I take that back. For a while, I got a PC for like getting confirmed or something like that at church. Um, and so my mom and her husband at the time, they're not married anymore, but her husband at the time like got me a bunch of parts, and he was really, I guess, good at putting together computers. So we put together the computer and everything, got it running, and I played like the Blizzard games mostly. Not World of Warcraft. I'm sorry. Just Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. I think on that. Diablo 2. I was big into that for quite a while, and then that's probably where my gaming fell off. Got a little bit older, started partying, didn't really play any video games for a while, you know. And then when I was in college, I had a roommate who probably ended up growing up to be a salesman. Everything he did, he like just talked up so much like it was amazing, you know, and like talked me into buying an Xbox 360. He had bought one, and he had the Fight Night game,
Okay.
like boxing on it. And I don't even think we needed two consoles. But he was like, just wanted me to buy one so that I could play myself too, or whatever. And we just had like these fight nights at our place, just boxing each other all night, basically, in that game, and kind of got me back into it. I finally got into the shooters again. Well, when I was deployed, I ran into the buddy that actually got me to join the military while we were in Iraq. And so I went and hung out with him, and like all the people in his tent like had Xboxes. They were all wired together, and they played Call of Duty when they weren't out on mission and stuff. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome!" Like I'd never really played multiplayer besides Diablo 2 online, where you could have like 8 people playing your RPG essentially, or you know, looking for loot and this and that. But I'd never played like a multiplayer shooter really, besides just multiplayer split screen GoldenEye, you know. And so I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I think shortly after that, Modern Warfare 2 came out, so I bought that. And I couldn't really play online because I was deployed and everything. But I remember coming back and playing for a while, and then knowing that Black Ops was coming out, I believe. And so I just like played a bunch of Modern Warfare 2, kind of get good at the game, and then when Black Ops launched, I like just went crazy, tried to like get max level and you know all the prestige or whatever, and I just had a blast with it. Like met a bunch of friends playing it, and we just squad up all the time and just go pub stomping. Basically, it was kind of fun. But yeah, so I guess I don't know. My best game or my favorite game for 360 was probably Black Ops. Was my favorite one. Played all the Call of Duties for the most part. I don't know if I bought Infinity Ward on whatever console that was, the last PS4 and Xbox One maybe. But I did eventually go down the route of buying the PlayStations as well. So I'd have a 3 and a 4. I haven't got the new console, so I don't have a PS5 or the new Xbox, I guess. But my favorite game for the PS4 was by far PUBG. Especially after switching from playing on Xbox for so long and then going over to PlayStation, like all the newbies. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I remember when because we played on the Xbox, 1S or whatever for, the first. I think it was out for a whole year almost before it came out for the PS4, and then like we were all like, because it didn't come out like when it first came out, it wasn't cross-platform. You know what I'm saying? So like we were like, yo, we're gonna jump on and we're just gonna be just clapping kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that was pretty bad for us to want to do that. But hey, you got to take advantage of the mismatches, But I actually
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And I tell this to people all the time, even back then. But I feel like the PS4 version was more optimized than the Xbox One S one. So like to me, it ran a lot smoother on the PS4. So then instead of going back to the Xbox, I just kind of gravitated and stayed to the PS4. I think they downgraded the.
I do think it did kind of go back and forth on when they release updates. Sometimes it would improve one over the other. But I know you're a PlayStation fanboy and all, so I just stick with that side. It's fine though. It was still fun.
I enjoy all consoles, as you know. I got the Xbox One S, the PS4 Pro, the Xbox Series X, the PS5. I had a very bad experience with the Xbox 360. When it came out, I was the first wave of people that got it that day one that it came out up at GameStop. I got it. I had a ticket. My homeboy gave me the ticket. He wanted the PS3. He didn't want the Xbox. And the PS3 hadn't even been talked about. You know what I'm saying? So like, he was just waiting for that. So he gave me his ticket and I went and bought it. And everything was great. But then everybody knows that the Xbox 360, if you had it, you got the red ring of death. All right. So I took that bad boy back once I got that. And at that time, you can you send it in to Microsoft. They would fix it and send it back. So I ended up doing that. And then I got the red ring of death like 3 months after that. And then I just went in and exchanged it for a PS3. So the funny thing is like, because at GameStop they just rip you off no matter what. So like my Xbox worked well enough for before the red ring of death. It would work for like 3 to 5 minutes before the red ring of death would hit, right? And so like when you bring it into them, they obviously hook it up, they test it to make sure everything works. And then they let you, trade it in and give you credit or whatever. And so I was like sweating my ass off. Like, oh my God, is this thing going to crash before they actually like are done with their little test? But it actually worked. And I got my PS3 and I never looked back, really. Yeah.
Nice.
So then after PS4, did you always have a PC or did you then just build one?
Yeah, I kind of always had a PC, I guess. I've always had a PC, not always a decent one, I guess. I got, I think, a new PC after I graduated high school. I think I bought it myself, put the parts, or, got all the parts on Newegg or something like that. My stepmom was going to school for something IT related. She's like, oh yeah, I'll help you build it. Like, okay. So we got all the parts shipped to my dad's place, went over there and put it together and it wouldn't work. I don't know what was wrong. She's like, oh, I think they sent you a bad motherboard. So you gotta send that back and get a new one. It's like, okay. So I send them the motherboard back and I'm just like anxiously waiting to get my new one. I want it up and running and everything. Get that, install it, same problem. Like it wouldn't turn on at all. And it just so happened that the day my new motherboard came, a buddy of mine who is pretty tech savvy was there as well. And I don't know what exactly it was that he noticed. Something was on just upside down or backwards, basically. And he was like, well, you just got to do this. And he flipped something around and then it worked. And like later on, my stepmom was talking about like where she's gone to school and this and that and all this stuff for IT and whatnot. And my buddy's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a high school dropout, and I got the computer to work." She was all embarrassed, I guess, because she
Right.
couldn't make it work. But yeah, so I built that one. I bought a pretty beefy laptop for when I went on deployment. I planned on playing a bunch of games. Like I bought Crisis, and like which was I don't know supposedly I'd never actually heard of it, but was supposedly a high end or graphically intensive game. And I was like, oh, I just want to buy it and see if my this sweet laptop that I just bought will actually play it or not. And it played it just fine. I didn't have an issue with it, so I think it was a pretty decent laptop. But like I bought all these games, and then what I ended up doing was getting an emulator for N64 and Super Nintendo, and like playing all these old games while I was over there. Anyways, just I don't know. People had hard drives full of
Yeah.
pirated stuff, and these emulators were part of it, and I just ended up playing video games on there. It was kind of
Is that
interesting, but
is sorry
uh,
to cut you off.
mm-mm.
Is that kind of like that Raspberry Pi thing that's like on like you can buy on Amazon and it's got like every game from like every console and it's just like a
I th- I think the Raspberry Pi is more just like a little computer
okay.
in itself. Um, I think you can maybe put an emulator on that and then use it to play those kinds of games. I'm guessing that's something similar to what those like new mini retro versions of those old consoles are. Like I bought that retro mini NES, and it's like this big and has
Yeah.
HDMI and stuff like that. But I'm guessing it's something similar to that, and then they can just put an emulator on it. Or when I've heard of that though, I don't understand how any
My
of it
my
works
buddy
though.
has one. I think yeah, I think my homeboy has one. And yeah, when I go over there, he's just like, "What game do you want to play?" And I'm like, I don't know, Streets of Rage." And then they'll pull up Streets of Rage, and I'm like, "Damn!" Like I might need to give me one of these, you know?
My buddy bought one of those mini retro Super Nintendos, and then found some dude on Craigslist that can like hack it and put all the games on it. So he like met him in a parking lot somewhere, and the guy like hooked it up to his laptop and did whatever. And like 15 minutes later, now he has every single Super Nintendo
No
game on his
way.
thing.
That's kind of fucking. That's kind of
Yeah,
creepy. But I mean,
yeah. He brought his
no, he
kids with
didn't.
too. He's like
Oh
10 and
my
12-year-old
god!
kids in the bag.
Don't do that, people. That's scary. But I mean,
Yeah.
I myself would probably want to. I mean, I don't know. I guess now you could probably just YouTube anything and figure out how to do it. But yeah, I mean,
Yo,
I'm always for if somebody else can do it for me. I'd rather have that.
I thought about it, but like we have a Super Nintendo one as well, but it's sitting in a box in the basement. Like we don't even use it, so it doesn't really pay to put
Yeah.
all the games on it. It might be nice in sometime, but I don't know. Never really use it. It seems
So
like so,
what
especially
game for
lately.
PC was your go to game?
I I probably gotta say Diablo 2. Like I lost a lot of time on that
Even
game.
your gaming
Um,
PC, or are you talking about your laptop still?
um. So I guess on the laptop actually, well, I'm gonna say Diablo 3 for my laptop actually, because when I came back from deployment, that game dropped, and I had a whole bunch of money from having just deployed and nothing to really do. Like I just played Diablo 3 with my buddies all day, um, and then eventually built my last PC because I don't know the laptop just wasn't hacking it anymore. It was getting a little bit old at that point, and seen too many dust
Yeah.
storms and things like that. So um, ended up building a new one. Had that one for throughout college and everything, and then built my last one here. I don't know, a couple of years ago, I guess. Um, but I've always, unlike you, I've always built my own PCs, even though I don't know how to build them myself, especially like the technical parts of it. Like most of the stuff I can put in the right slots and kind of put it in the case and everything. But as far as like what wires and everything need to go where, that's where I get a little a little foggy, so I usually call in a buddy and then we get
Well,
it put
look,
together.
all right. Yes, I would rather save my time than buy a pre-built computer. But I'll have you know, I did install my 3070 Ti, and I did have to install my 2080 Super into my streaming PC, and I had put in my SSDs. Randcore helped me with it, but I now know how to do it. So like,
There you go.
I could probably build a PC if I actually wanted to right now.
When you put the GPUs in, did you have Average Sniper on FaceTime the whole
I
time?
did not. I had
showing you?
Uno. But that was only because the reason why I call Uno is because, like if you look online or even talking to Uno, there's like supposed to be like this little kind of like the where the GPU's plugged into is like a little switch that you just kind of like it just kind of snaps out of place and then it comes out, right? It was like
Okay.
stuck. So I'm just sitting there like, what the heck? Like I can't get it out. And then I think it's because of the way that the pre-builts are made. Like my hand couldn't get all the way back there, so MK had to have like a screwdriver and push that little lever forward as I pulled out and then finally got it. But it was actually the same thing with my stream PC too. So it was like the same problem with both. Like it wasn't as easy as it shows on YouTube or people were saying that they had with theirs. So, but yeah.
Okay. Were you just trying to push it? I think a lot of times if you pull on it while you're pushing, that helps it.
I was just trying to push it. Yeah,
along,
yeah.
But
well, because I couldn't get my hand back there far enough to like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now I know, and I shouldn't have to do any upgrades for another 3. Yeah,
It'd be good for a while.
years,
Yeah.
so.
I was hoping you're going to announce a giveaway for a 2080 Super.
Yeah. Negative on that. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the 1080, if I'm going to sell it or whatnot. But all right. So, who is your favorite? And don't you dare. All right. Who is your favorite content creator of all time? Like not necessarily live streamer, just somebody that you gravitated to. It don't have to be me. I'm not even saying if it is me, I'm cool with it, but it ain't gotta be me.
Well, let's see. I mean, currently it's you for sure. I've had others in the past that I watched a lot of videos for, but I guess you're probably the first live streamer that I really started watching. Mostly with follow people just on through YouTube videos in the past. So
I
I'm gonna say you.
appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that makes me feel real good inside. So what game made you like what game did you play from like day till night? Like before PUBG, it was Black Ops 2 for me. Like I played Black Ops 2, I mean just nonstop. And then when PUBG came out, I played PUBG like crazy. Like what game was like that for you where it's like you couldn't wait to either get off work or whatever and just play it all the way until it was like time to go to sleep?
Probably I would say all the CODs between Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 3 or somewhere in there. I don't know. There's probably 3, 4, 5 titles there where that's pretty much all I did was played COD every chance I had. And it all started with Black Ops 1, and I'm kind of foggy on the order of all the games exactly. I remember Modern Warfare 3 though was a huge one. Super into that one. But yeah, pretty much all the CODs really got me going before PUBG and the Battle Royale came out. Now, I don't know. I didn't buy the last COD, Vanguard, I think it was. Didn't even buy it, but pretty much all the ones before that, I just kind of bought them out of ritual, I guess, out of habit, and played the multiplayer for a little while, and then just got bored with it faster and faster.
I think the reason why we got bored with multiplayer is because we got introduced to Battle Royale. It's not the same type of satisfaction winning a multiplayer than it is, winning a battle royale. Like even if you get,
Yep.
35, 40 kills and die only once or twice, like yeah, it feels good, but it kind of just gets old like really quick. Like there's nothing. Like I think the whole like high stakes, like it's if I die, I'm going to the lobby and I got to start all over. That feeling
Yep.
is just like it's like no other, and it's so addicting now. Like I just want every game to have a BR now.
Yep. Hear a game being released. Does it have a BR though?
It doesn't.
Hope so.
I don't know if I'll play or if I'll play it for long. Like Battlefield, obviously I played that, but it's like you can only play it for so long.
And it's kind of funny. It kind of was kind of the next natural step for me as far as going away from the multiplayer, because when I played a lot of multiplayer until I kind of started running with homies and joined a gaming clan and this and that, like I played a lot of free for all, and like my goal was to try to get the 30 kills and not die at all, So like I almost treated it like a BR, like yeah, you can respawn, but that's gonna ruin my gameplay. Like I want the flawless one if possible, And then I started running with more people, and then it was like, get the most kills, and that sort of thing. But that's how I first kind of really got into the CODs, was just trying to see how good of a free-for-all game I could get.
And I guess in a sense, free for all is the closest thing to a BR. You know what I'm saying? It's you versus everybody else, and everybody else,
Everybody else, yeah.
So it's not just one team, or I mean two teams. It's like you got. I don't even know how many people are in free for all.
I think it's 8 or 10. I want to say.
Yeah.
Not crazy, but.
So
it's been a while.
Because you fell in love with BRs, what is your favorite BR ever, and why?
Well, probably it's got to be PUBG, I'm sure. It wasn't actually the first BR I played. I did play Fortnite a few rounds before I ended up getting into PUBG. But it was definitely the most intense, and just the raw feeling of it. Like I do like me some Apex Legends. Don't get me wrong, but PUBG just had a much more intense feeling that I don't think has been matched, even in like with the Warzone. It's the most popular one now, but I don't think it's as good as PUBG was. I guess I'm not really sure why I stopped playing it as much as I did. But yeah, I don't know. It was definitely my favorite for the longest, and the most fun to play when everybody was playing it, and like it was just ripping. It was a lot of fun.
So I should have asked this a little bit earlier, but where did Skippstick come from? Skip.
So back to high school, a lot of my friends, for them, my nickname was Skippy.
Were you skipping
I'm
down
not
the
really
hallway
sure
or
where it
something,
came.
or what?
Skippy. Like a friend of mine asked me how I'm doing or something one day. I was like, I'm just Skippy, and like having a bad day or something. And I said I was just Skippy, and they just started calling me Skippy. And so when I first got back from my deployment to Iraq and got an Xbox, or dug out my old Xbox 360, which eventually got a red ring of death playing Call of Duty. But I bought another one and never had a problem. And I bought another one after that to have a second one, and that one never had a problem either. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, But so I'm trying to think of a gamer tag, and Skippy was taken. And I don't know, after days of debate, it seemed like you're just trying to find something with Skip in it. Like that's what I ended up coming up with. And I think on PlayStation, on PS4, it wouldn't let me have Skippstick. It said it was obscene or vulgar or or broke their terms of service or something, and so I had to like break it up, skip underscore skip or stick or something like that, and that they allowed. But
So, um, so when you met me, what was your like first thought? Because I think we first met, we like met up and got some wings, right?
yeah, oh,
Yeah,
when we
yeah, in
first met in
person.
person, yep. Well, at first I was a little surprised by how short
I
you
knew
were.
you were gonna say that. I knew it. Like you just couldn't help yourself. God damn. Okay, for before continue, I want you guys to know, okay, I'm a legit 5'7". Skip is like 6'5". So like of course
I could take this dude in
so of
basketball.
course he's gonna think I'm short when he's, you know, tall as shit. But all right, go on.
um, I guess I don't know. I thought you had cool sneakers
Yeah,
on.
of course.
Um,
Always.
I wasn't really sure what to expect. I was just like, I don't
What
know. Hadn't really met up with anybody on the internet before, so it was. I mean, granted, I had seen what you looked
right.
like before, but I don't know. The camera makes you look a little different than what you do in person, or maybe it's because seeing the side of your face or something.
Did, did I
But
seem like the person that was online or
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, I felt like I'd pretty much already knew you because I'd watched you stream and interacted with you so many times and played with you so many times before. Like, yeah, it seemed pretty much
okay.
in person to
So
me.
when Average
So,
came up and then we all kicked it, like what did you think when you met Average? Because when I met Average, I was trying to hold in like, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, Average is a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? So like, and like
mm,
I'm fortunate that he became one of my best friends. But like, I'm like in awe like when I meet Average. You know what I'm saying? Like I met up with him and I was like, holy shit, this is the average sniper. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm trying to keep my cool, and he actually signed my hat. I wouldn't like let him get away without signing my hat. Like I was like, I need an autograph. Um so like when
so when I met him, like, I hadn't really watched him like until I found your stream, and then you had talked about him and probably played with him before then or whatnot. Like, I hadn't even heard of him before, to be honest.
so hold on,
Um,
hold on. So
at that,
for those who are watching, Average came up to visit me a couple years ago, and I had already met up with Skip before, so then Skip came over and we kicked it, and that's how he met Average. So, all right, you can go ahead.
we raced go karts and I whooped
Yeah, we're gonna
everybody.
get to that. We're gonna get
You left
no, no,
that
we're gonna
part
get to
out.
that.
Okay,
Just go
okay.
ahead. Like, what did you think when you met Average in person?
I thought, wow, this guy's short too.
He's a shorty.
um, I don't know. I guess I didn't think. I thought he looked a lot different than he does
Okay.
on his stream. Like, I recognized him, but I didn't almost recognize him at first. I don't know. It was kind of strange. But yeah, I was. I mean, I hadn't known him for or watched him or anything like that. Heard of him for as long as you had, but just knew that he had a larger YouTube channel. I was like, oh, sweet. Like, one of the most famous people I've met, probably.
And
I
he's
don't
so
know.
humble, so it's like you meet him and he's just
Yeah,
another guy.
like,
You know what I'm saying? And then and I think he
yep.
appreciates if you treat him like that, because he doesn't, being so humble, he doesn't actually. I don't think he wants to be treated as somebody famous, even though he is. You know.
Mm-hmm. No, it was a lot of fun though. Like, good time. I had never gone to that go kart
I
track
had never
before.
gone there, and I haven't been there since.
I don't even know if it's there anymore. To be honest, it might be
Okay,
something different now. That stuff
so
changes a lot.
everybody, we went to the Mall of America. We took Dave out to the Mall of America. Average Sniper out to the Mall of America, and we ate at Wahlburgers, which was really good. And then we went up to. They have like this go kart. They have like this gaming. It's like this gaming room on this like top floor, and they actually have like go karts up there too. And we went up there, and it was so funny. Like they were. So I'm gonna tell my story because I know Skip's gonna tell this story. That's gonna be totally inaccurate, and Average tells it inaccurate too. So we go to get signed up for the go-karts, and the guy is like, all right, no passing, no drifting, no this, no that. And I'm doing that. We're all sitting there looking at like, well, what the hell are we supposed to do then? You know? So then we get out there and fucking like Skip is running into stuff and drifting all over the place. So then Average starts drifting all over the place, and then so they're like lapping me up because I'm like the black dude. I'm like, I'm not about to get kicked out of here.
Follow the rules, guys.
The rules. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, come on. So then like I started, like F it, they're talking this ish, and then I think there was like even this little kid that was almost about to pass me, and I was like, no. So I just started going pedal to the metal, and I was running into stuff, but I was like starting to get the hang of like the drifting and stuff. But like Skip and Average did not care about the rules at all, and clearly the people working there did not care about the rules because they didn't say one word. And I'm just like, so I look like a jackass because I'm going slow around this track, and Skip and Average are just flying around. So, all right.
Oh, we lapped you so many times.
You lapped me one time. Stop it. See, all right. Now you tell your story. I knew that you were gonna.
I don't know. Where was my story going?
No, well, like how did the go-karts go? Because Average would say it totally different, and I'm just trying to see if you would lie about it or if that's about how it went.
That was more specifics than I really remember. I just remember me and Average duking it out, and
who won? Did you
saying what's up as we zip past? Oh yeah, me right here.
Yeah. I probably could have won. I just didn't want to take. I didn't want to be the better gamer out of the three and beat you guys in go-karts. So I just had
and have the better jumper too. It just wouldn't be fair. Yeah,
point,
thanks. Appreciate that.
Something's got to give. All right, so what is the best role-playing game you've ever played? Is it the Diablo that you said, like the?
I guess. I mean, probably my favorite was Final Fantasy VII. I thought that was a pretty bomb game. That
was a great game.
Me and my brother maybe cheated, I guess, because he bought like the player's guide, I mean, I still had a great time with the game, even though I knew what was coming up next, and to equip certain spells and this and that. But like that, I loved that game for a long time. We played it just over and over again. Basically, it was so much fun. So probably Final Fantasy VII.
So I loved Final Fantasy, but I never like really loved playing it. I used to watch my brother play it all the time, and I'd just be sitting there just watching him. I'm like Super Nintendo, you know what I'm saying? And he was so good at the game. Like he was so good. He was so strategic, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like he couldn't lose. And so I always loved the game, but I more so loved to just watch him play it, not so much me play it, if that makes any sense. But
yeah, I mean, I've had that game too, I think, or games like that. I used to like watching my brother play Tomb Raider, even though I never really got into playing the game myself. But. So,
what's the best video game movie you've ever seen? And when I say that, it's it's not based on an actual video game. That'll be the next, question or whatever, but it's just like I explained before, like Ready Player One or is it The Wizard or like Fred Savage? You don't remember that, do you? Okay, so that one's like it was like one. A Nintendo, like his little, I think it was like his little brother, like they like made it to some like tournament, it was like some kind of gaming competition or whatever, and so I don't know. So to me, I guess I would say Ready Player One because it's like the newer, most dope one. But I mean, there's plenty of ones out there. Free Guy,
Okay, I did watch Free Guy. That was pretty good. Ready Player One is a a pretty good movie. I have to give it that. I bought it on Blu-ray HD. Watched it so all fancy on my new 4K TV and everything. So that was a pretty dope movie. I want to watch it again actually.
Yeah, with the surround sound up.
I probably have to say Ready Player One.
I said with the surround sound turned all the way up.
Yes, exactly. Put the baby somewhere else.
The corner of the house.
Yeah.
So now, what's like the best game based off of a video game that you've seen?
Best movie based off of a video game. My favorite was the Mario movie, like the live
Mario
action.
Movie
Yeah,
with John Leguizamo, was it? And
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know actors. I mean, I was pretty young, but I loved Mario, and that movie was the shit.
Those man, those guys were creepy, weren't they? The big ones with the tiny heads. Do you remember? They were so creepy.
Yeah. I need to see if that's on the Cody box and check that out again. It's been a long time.
Since I've seen that.
But that was probably my favorite video game movie back in the day.
I said, what did I say was mine? I think I said, crap, I don't remember what I said was mine. But I just know that I wanted to change mine. Mine is the original Ninja Turtles.
That would probably be a close one as well.
I think, dang it, I don't remember what I said it was mine. And the reason why I don't remember is because I was like, when I talk to Skip, I'm changing mine because from what I had told Average, and what I had told MK when she had interviewed me. But I was like, how did I forget about Ninja Turtles? And the reason why I forgot about it is because it was such a great movie that I just forgot it was based off of a video game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is it based off the video game and not the other way around?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, it's based off the comic, and I don't know if the video came before or after. I'm not sure, but
I just remember we went to this one like pizza joint, and they had the Ninja Turtles arcade game there, and me and my brother just burned through all our quarters, just threw them in that thing, playing it as long as our parents would let us. It was so much fun.
Man, yeah, I think I even went and watched it after, and that's why I was sitting there like, wait, this is a a video game movie. I'm like, man, that's my favorite movie. That's like one of my favorite movies of all time. So it's like definitely one of my favorite for video games.
Mm-hmm. I was a huge Ninja Turtle fan growing up too as a boy. Loved me some Ninja Turtles.
Your favorite Ninja Turtle? I'm gonna guess that your favorite Ninja Turtle was Donatello.
Actually,
Really?
I think he was. I guess I don't remember from back in the day who my favorite was for sure, but I believe you're right. My brother was a Leonardo kind of guy, I think, and I was the Donatello fella.
I see, like I think Raphael, just because I feel like me and him have the same type of personality. Like I'm just kind of like a loner, like and I had like a bad temper growing up. But like as I go back and I watch the movies, I'm like Donatello was dope. Like Donatello was whooping ass. I'm like, I like Donatello.
And I liked him in the video game too because he had the staff, so he had a little bit longer reach, and nice.
So is there so I know you played Warzone, but you didn't play Warzone that much with us. So is there a reason why you didn't play Warzone, or did you not have the time, or you just didn't like the way it played, or you rather play Apex, or like, what was that?
Yeah, I didn't care for it after a while. It got old to me. I don't know. There's something just about the COD movement that annoys me, I think, with the bouncing of your screen when you're running, and it just, I don't know, it feels like you're going slow even though you're really not, and I don't know. I think I just ended up gravitating more towards Apex. I felt like I never seemed to notice any issues with cheaters. Once you kind of get used to it, like it was a lot of fun. I felt like it still had a pretty high skill level for the game. And I think there's too many cheaters in Warzone as well. just made it not very much fun anymore. Um, it kind of sucked because most of the people that I knew played it, but I just couldn't. I couldn't stand it
Right.
anymore. I don't think. And then, you know, becoming a family man and things like that, eventually ran out of time and couldn't even play Apex
Yeah.
anymore either. So
So, do you think that PUBG will come out with the PUBG 2? Since PUBG was like one of your top games, and then like if they if they did come out with the PUBG 2, what would you want to be different in the experience of PUBG?
well, I sure hope that they do, and if they do, I will certainly buy it. So if that sways their opinion on whether or not to make it,
Well, don't you think it
hey,
should be free to play?
um, I that would be even better. Yeah, I guess that kind of seems to be the way certain titles have been going, and it's worked out
Right.
well for them. So yeah, that would be nice. Actually, that would be really cool. I feel like though, at the same time, if it's free to play, I don't know, it might be more attractive to cheaters to try to cheat in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they can just, oh, I'm just make a new account now. I don't have to pay $60 for a new account. Like
Yeah.
I just make one. Um, so I guess yeah, there's that. What I would hope, I guess, would be for just more polished game, smoother running. You know, and we had all kinds of crazy issues early console with the game. When, you know, drop-in walls aren't loaded, and you can see all the guns in the town around you, but there's no
Right.
buildings there yet, and
Getting stuck in
getting
the.
stuck in
They have to
walls, and
restart.
yeah. Um, so you know, just not buggy. I guess you know, more well, and I think the movement system I think could use some updating or upgrading, make it just feel a little less clunky. I feel I don't know, something about it just it seemed like it was a little slow or delayed almost. One thing I did like about COD was the movement was quite on point, but it was almost to the point where it was sickening how fast, you know, just like sliding, jumping,
Right.
sprinting, sliding, jumping. Like that was a little ridiculous. So PUBG was nice because it slowed it down a little bit. You couldn't get all crazy with the movement. It
Yeah.
didn't seem like, but maybe it's just the controls or something to just make it so it could be a little bit
Right.
more smooth, maybe a little more responsive
Yeah.
on things.
I
But
I definitely think
otherwise, I mean, just give us some good maps, you know, and let's
I think
give
the
her.
mechanics definitely need to be fine tuned. It was definitely kind
Hmm.
of robotic, right? Like it was old. It was an old. It felt like it was like an old engine, and
Yep.
I would hope that they would obviously get on the Unreal Engine 5 hopefully, and better mechanics obviously would come with the engine, and then
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, just being optimized completely, I think, and like I've always said, like I wouldn't even care if they had the graphics more so like the Fortnite, you know what I'm saying, and it was just
Hmm.
a smoother experience overall, and therefore you could have the cross platforms and not miss a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna like yeah, the
Yep.
PC players are gonna get more frames. You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna be too much of a advantage against like a console player from 2 gens ago on the PS4 and the Xbox, One S or whatever.
Hmm. One thing I like that, and I guess I don't know how much it really helped, but like seemed to be what maybe they could look into taking out would be where like people could dumb down their graphics so
Yeah.
that you know the grass wouldn't be as thick, so they could see people
Right.
hiding easier and things like that. Like I don't know. I mean, with the PCs, people have different levels of gaming cards and things like that, so it's hard to make it where they have to have a certain level to be able to run it. But you know, that would be something that would be nice to take out, I guess, especially for the console people that weren't able
Right.
to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Because even when people were doing that for PC, I had never done it like that because I know people were trying to get their advantage on others, but I, as a content creator, I was trying to push out the best quality. So I wanted people to
Yep.
see how great the game could look. So I ran everything on the highest that it could go, and then I'm getting sniped in grass that they can see me and I can't see them, and it's like what the
Can't even see them through the grass in front of you, but they can see you.
um. So I know that you used to make a couple videos here and there of like PUBG on like the PS4 and stuff like that, and you had great gameplay, and you know, like you were a great player. So like what made you not pursue content creation like completely, like dive into it?
I'm not exactly sure. I guess I didn't enjoy the editing portion as much as I feel like I would have needed to pursue that, to just making videos more often. Um, I mean, it was definitely something that I didn't put a whole lot of time or resources into getting good at. I made, a few for PUBG and a handful for some COD game. I can't remember which one. Um, and I don't know. I guess I just felt like, yeah, I guess I'm not really sure why it was exactly. Um, Kind of that thing where you kind of got to get started on it and keep doing it, and kind of make it
Right.
your routine. Never really became a habit of mine to. I have had a bunch of videos saved or content saved or files, recordings of games, but I don't know, never really dove into it as much as I needed to actually be putting out content at a decent pace or anything like that. And then life happened, and I don't know, started putting more time into other interests as well, and just I don't know, didn't have the time for it anymore. It seemed like.
And, I know it's not everybody's desire to be a content creator or whatever. I just was asking just because I know that you had, and I don't know if anybody else outside of like our group that we played with had known that you had put out a couple videos, but and I was impressed with your gameplay, so
Mm.
and the videos, so I was like, just wondering like why you didn't, you know,
Yeah, I was actually planning on doing streaming for a little while and giving it a shot anyways, and like I think I did once accidentally went live, and I think you were
I
the only
remember
person
that.
in
I
the
remember
stream.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, I just had too much going on. Like I felt like I needed to commit a certain amount of time to it instead of just dabbling here and there. I wanted to, be serious about it, and wasn't able to have enough excess time to do it as well as I'd want to do it, I guess, and so I
Yeah.
just didn't do it.
It's totally understandable. Um,
Yeah.
so what are your thoughts on gaming right now? And I mean like how the games, like, there's like obviously been a slowdown with games coming out, and then like with the games that are out, like the hackers that are in the games, like what do you think collectively of the state of gaming in 2022?
Yeah, as far as the hacking and things go, I think it's pretty rough. Like I can't say that that's the reason I stopped playing. I haven't played a shooter in quite some time, and that's not the reason, but that's definitely the reason I quit playing Warzone. Um, I didn't really notice it so badly in Apex, even though I think at one point they were literally like the game was taken over by a hacker. Like he was going after like the high level tournaments and things like that, and was making the game unplayable for people for I don't even know how long it was, where like they literally lost control of their game, and this dude could do whatever he wanted in it and like shut down games at will and things like that. Um, but I never actually had any issue with it. Um, but it's like I don't think it's gonna keep going if they don't do
Mm.
something about it. Like otherwise, everybody's just gonna have to be hacking too to even be able to play the games. Like, and I don't see that as being a very fun alternative. Hopefully, games when they come out start having some sort of an anti-cheat. I guess I mean I don't. I'm completely ignorant about how all that technical stuff works and how they would catch people, but I definitely wouldn't mind seeing them putting it in for everything and cracking
Right.
down on them as much as I
So
can.
how do you think the cheating should be handled? And then, like especially with like the content creators out there that there's a couple out there, and I'm not going to name any names. I already named it in the names in my first podcast video, but there's some big names out there that I'm like it's 100% that they're hacking, but they're still making a lot of money. They're invited to all these tournaments. They get more subs or people paying monthly subscriptions to their channels and stuff like that. So like they're basically robbing they're robbing people blind. You know what I'm saying? Like and so how do you
Hmm.
think that stuff like that should be handled?
Well, I mean, I guess if I were following someone like that, I would cancel my subscription or unfollow them for sure. I wouldn't want to be in support of that sort of a thing. So hopefully everyone else would do that as well. Like, I don't know if YouTube or Twitch or whoever could come back and say, you have to pay these people back for it. But I definitely think that if they're pretending to be legit and hacking or cheating in any way, that it's, you know, not okay. And they shouldn't be allowed to continue to do that. Um, and the people that follow them should no longer follow them. Um, but yeah, I guess I don't know. As far as, definitely if they could get them with any kind of laws that they're breaking. I don't know if it's against the law to do what they're doing, but it definitely seems pretty underhanded, especially if they're trying to come off as
Yeah.
legit. So,
All right. So since we both love battle royales probably more than anything else, if you could take pieces from every BR that you've played and put them together into one BR, like what would those pieces be?
hmm. Well, I like the leaning from PUBG. That was, I think, one of the. Well, I played a Rainbow Six game maybe where you could do some leaning, but other than that, that was like the first game that actually used it. Um, I like the looting and the style of PUBG as well. Even though I'm an Apex fan, I don't really need the special abilities. I wish everybody maybe had some more movement ability. It would be fine if it was all the same. Um, I like the shield system of Apex, which is kind of weird, I guess. But it's not finding more better body armor. Level 2, level 3, level 4, whatever. You start with, it's called an Evo shield. And basically, if you kill one person, it goes from a base level where you have 2 bars of shield to a blue level where you have 3 bars of shield. And then after you deal so much more damage, it goes to a purple, which is 4 bars of shield. And I think they eventually made it to where you can get a 5 bar shield if you do enough damage to enemies while you're wearing the shield. And like, I don't know, it's kind of nice. You're not constantly looking for more shields or, to swap armors. You can if like yours gets damaged and there's a blue one laying there, you could swap it out real quick. But like it allows you to make yours better by engaging other players and doing damage to them,
Okay.
basically. Um, so I actually like that, and I like the movement in it too. It's a
It
lot,
is very smooth.
I don't
It
know,
is.
smooth, sliding, jumping. Like it's just nice. It
It
feels
feels
good. I
like
think.
and I'm
Um,
not even sure if it's the same company, but it feels more Titanfall. Do you remember Titanfall?
it
Okay.
is the same
So
company.
like
Yep.
I felt like when I
Yep.
played Titanfall, it was so smooth compared to Call of Duty. And then so like
Mhm.
it was just a night and day difference. So then like I did notice when I played, Apex for the couple times that I played it, I'm like this is like extremely smooth. Like it's just smooth. Like the sliding, just everything, the
Yep.
running, everything about it is just very very smooth.
And that's one of the things that I like the most about it. Like sometimes I would forget to even use the Legends abilities, but I'm just running around sliding down hills, shooting back at people and stuff. Like I don't know, it's just a
Yeah.
lot of fun, I think. Um, let's see. I definitely, you got to have the building from Fortnite, of course.
You stop it. No, you don't even believe that.
No, definitely not. I do want to try that no build mode. It looks like a lot of fun. Is it
Yeah, yeah, it's permanent.
permanent or is
Yeah,
it? Is it? Okay, cool. Good then. No
yeah.
time constraints there. Um, Gosh, I don't know. I guess that's probably some of my bigger things that maybe haven't already been brought up in the
Okay.
past.
Well, that's pretty much all the questions that I have. And I just wanted to let you know that, like I said, you are my longest standing supporter with your membership outside of MK. And I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate your sacrifice. I know you fought for our country. And I appreciate your support and friendship, man. I really do. It means a lot. So I'm glad I could have
Thanks,
you on
man.
here.
Appreciate that.
And this was a lot of fun. You know, I got to learn more about you. And
I just wish you could stream during the day so I could watch you instead of working.
all right, well, here's what we got to do. We gotta grow this channel to to where I can be a full-time content creator. So if you can help with
Sounds
that,
good.
from your desk at home, you just kind of push it out to the algorithm and to just make some kind of software where it just goes to every household. Then we're good.
Beam
Right.
it straight in. Got it. No problem.
But all right, everybody, that's all I got for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, this podcast is not just for interviewing people that are content creators. If you are a member of the channel, meaning they pay $4.99 a month to support the channel, those people get in. And if you are a streamer and a member, I'll give you an opportunity to come on and promote your channel. And I would put the link of your channel in the description so that people can go there and follow you. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to continue to see more content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.